How you doing, guys? It's another video here today. I want to talk about something that's here worldwide here, especially here in the United States of America, which is foreclosure. Foreclosures are on the rise, and I think you guys gonna have to think about how you're gonna start investing in these foreclosures. So around the country, you got to ask yourself, why are foreclosures on the rise here in the United States of America? We always had foreclosures, to be honest with you. Since the beginning of the time, as long as you have mortgages, you're going to have houses going into foreclosure. But you as a real estate investor, you want to ask yourself, how can you benefit from this? And those people who are going through foreclosure, you got to ask yourself, what are your options out there? But let's see why foreclosures are on the rise. Well, here's the thing. Foreclosure may on the rise because we had a big pandemic back in 2020. Interest rates was around 2, 3, 4%, maybe 5, depending on what interest rate you got. Since 2022, the interest rates have pretty much plummeted up all the way to 6.5, almost 7%. So for the last couple, 2 or 3 years now, people have bought houses. People have got married and bought houses. And people are getting mortgages there around those 6.5, 7% a year and a half ago. Now the economy is not where it actually needs to be here at the moment, and people are struggling paying their mortgages. So for that reason, the mortgage 5 years ago was $1,200. Now that mortgage is $1,600 on the same house, and so you pretty much got to ask yourself, what is going on? What crisis out there that's hunting people who have these mortgages, and what can they do about it? And also, you as a real estate investor, what can you do about it as well? So, but also remember this, guys. If you are a real estate investor out there, take advantage of our local Magic Real Estate membership site. It got a free session to sign up. It's awesome, guys. You're in real estate, you're an investor and broker. Bird dog, a guy who wholesale, agent, doesn't matter. That membership website will help you. It's right there in the description. So take advantage of it. It's free, guys. Take advantage of it. All right, let's get back to the subject in hand. Foreclosures are here, guys. They're here to stay, and you got to be able to see how you can tackle those foreclosures in this crisis moment. Foreclosures are everywhere out here in the market. And tons of places out here in the market, but you got to know how to find those foreclosures as a real estate investor. So at the end of the day, I get people ask me, is there such thing as a foreclosure list? Okay, is there such thing as a foreclosure list? And I pretty much tell them, well, to be honest with you, that's not really a foreclosure list. There are places where you can go to certain softwares and get a foreclosure list. Properties that was filed from the mortgage company at the clerk of court office to the courts to show that there's a pending late charges on these property. Here's the thing: sometimes that data is old, and so data that's 2-3 months old, sometimes not current data that you can use. So you as a real estate person, how can you get in front of this? If this crisis is going on for the foreclosure here in the market and you can benefit from it, how can you do it? How can you place yourself and find these foreclosures in this market? Okay, so this is what I do if I just had to go find foreclosure, which this is what I do every day, find foreclosures. Number one, do this way here. It goes back to the driving for dollars type thing. Here in the other neighborhood here from me, that's a foreclosure there. That's in what we call pre-foreclosure. Now, this property here, the owner still owns this house, even though the mortgage company have taken over this property. But the owner still owns it. It's still in pre-foreclosure. Until they sell that house, until they sell that house at an auction or something, or that house really goes on the market through agent, that homeowner still have the right to come back to get that property. So me driving my neighborhood, I found that house. Now all I have to do now is find the owner. So I found the owner. Now You got to ask how you find the owner. So here's the thing. Here's a little wink type trick that you can do, and really it's not even a trick, it's just common sense. A house in foreclosure, usually that pre-foreclosure, whatever, most of the time they have moved away. So they still getting mail there, or they still got mail there where after they changed over they mail, they still had mail going there before the transaction was completed to change over the mail. So check the mailbox, see who the owner of it. And then when you see who the owner of it, you can go to a website called True People Search. Go to True People Search, put the name in there, put the address of the house in there, bingo. You will better find out the email address and phone number of this person. And depending on how it is, you might find out a current place where they live as of now. So that's one way. Drive the neighborhood. Number two, go on to some of the top websites out there, whether it's Redfin, Zillow, whatever. If there's a house that's for sale, okay, if there's a house that's for sale, and you look on that house that's for sale, and you go down inside the description, go to the point where it says list the listing history. If you see that a house has been purchased just a couple years ago, now even though that may be a good substitute property, that can be another avenue of saying if someone's selling a house that fast, it can be a potential foreclosure. Doesn't mean that it is, but it can be a potential foreclosure for some pair of reasons, because someone probably bought in 23, now in 25 they're selling it. But you will only know until you just make that contact with the agent and find out. Okay, so that's the second way. Now the first way that you was able to sit out and go drive your neighborhood. Okay, drive your neighborhood and see can you find these foreclosures. Number two, you go on this top site, Redfin, Zillow, see when the last time they purchased a property, and kind of make your contact with the agent and try to get some details and see what situation these people in to be selling their house after 2 years. Now, here's my third one. I like the third one of the best, because even though it's today's time, everything is done online, there are still newspapers out there. And if you know it or not, these newspapers, the mortgage company have to put in there on properties that are going through foreclosure, properties that are delinquent on payments, properties where they ain't got notices where they're gonna foreclose on the property. If you can look in your local market, okay, look for your local newspaper it may be online now versus in physical form, and sign up for their newspaper there, and you will be able to get up to date as those mortgage companies put those things into the newspaper, the sheriff sales and things like that. You will be able to get up to date on what foreclosures are going on in your city. Guess what? They've been putting inside the newspaper for the last 30, 40 years now. Most people don't even pay attention to that. They want to go buy a list. But those foreclosures that are in those papers there, chances are those are updated. These are people who need help now. And if you're able to contact those people, you're able to get a deal. How do I know? Because I've been doing it and still continue to do it. I got a whole list of newspapers just from my whole entire state. So once those things hit every day, I get an email notification on we got this property in this city, and we put together a reach out plan. We reach out and we try to contact the owners of the properties and see what we can do to help when it comes to that foreclosures. So those are my top 3 ways of getting things done. Now, again, you can use software, you can do all the other type of things, but the problem is that sometimes the data is a little too old. You want some current data. Driving the neighborhood, current data. Looking at the listings on the Redfin, Zillow, current data. Looking at keeping an eyeball on the newspapers, okay, of listed sheriff sales, current data. So you rather have the current things to go hop on something. It's nothing worse using some data 3 months ago and try to call up a homeowner, and they say, hey, we already took care of that. That's embarrassing. So think about going out there to tackle the foreclosures that way. So as this crisis continues to bloom, that's an avenue for you. But once you want to invest in foreclosures, your ultimate goal is to go in to help people. And sometimes it's buying their house, or sometimes is giving them some other type of solution. So whatever the case may be, you as a real estate investor, you figure that part out. But the crisis is here, and step out there and try to go find these properties. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up really helps out my videos here. This YouTube channel is climbing due to the efforts of you guys. So I want to thank you all so much. Subscribe. Don't forget that. Get the local magic down here in the description. They got a free membership. Gotta get it, guys. And the last but not least, let's do deals. I'm out.